In the 1970s, astronomers stumbled upon a realization that shattered our sense of cosmic stillness. They discovered that our Milky Way galaxy is moving, drawn by great invisible forces toward an unknown destination. We were being pulled, but our final destination remained hidden behind the zone of avoidance, a region of the sky obscured by the thick gas and dust of our own galactic disk. Like a tiny raft adrift in a vast moonless ocean, we were caught in a current heading toward an unknown fate. We weren't alone. It wasn't just the Milky Way in motion, but all our neighbors. Two astronomers, Brent Tully and J. Richard Fisher, used the Parkes Radio Telescope in Australia to survey distant galaxies, attempting to reconstruct their movements from meager observations. Around the same time, teams observing the cosmic microwave background, the CMB, the radiation relic of the Big Bang, independently found hints of a great cosmic flow. The galaxies Tully and Fisher mapped seemed to share a common locus, with velocities all pointing in a similar direction. Even after accounting for the Sun's motion around the Milky Way's core, a residue remained, an unexplained speed of hundreds of kilometers per second relative to the ultimate cosmic reference frame. It appeared as if the Milky Way and our entire local vicinity were being drawn to a specific spot, tied by invisible chains stretching tens of millions of light years. For decades, the best we could do was name this mysterious source of inexorable motion the Great Attractor. It is a persistent sink of gravity that pulls our galaxy and thousands of others, home to hundreds of billions of stars, like moths to a flame. Yet this restless motion is the standard for the universe. Everything is going somewhere, from the Earth's orbit around the Sun to the Milky Way's hurtling toward this gravitational sink. The history of science is, in many ways, the history of our increasing awareness of this restlessness. For millennia, scholars believed the Earth was perfectly still. Early astronomers, like Copernicus, eventually proposed a sun-centered system, putting the Earth in motion. But this introduced terrifying questions. If the Earth were moving, why don't we feel a great rush of wind? It took centuries and Isaac Newton's theory of gravity to understand that we don't feel the motion because we are in motion along with the Earth, moving through the vacuum of space. While Einstein's relativity taught us that all inertial motion is relative, the universe provides a preferred frame of reference, the expansion of space itself. Anything that deviates from this general outward flow is known as peculiar velocity, and these are the movements that define our cosmic journey. Without taking a single step, you move an incredible distance through your life. First, there is the rotation of the Earth, which for most people in the mid-latitudes averages about 1,000 kilometers per hour. Over an 80-year lifetime, that amounts to 1 billion kilometers of movement just from spinning. Then there is the Earth's orbit around the Sun at 30 kilometers per second, adding another 80 billion kilometers of travel. But the Sun itself is in motion, orbiting the galactic center of the Milky Way at 230 kilometers per second, a journey that takes 230 million years to complete a single revolution. This speed is actually profound evidence for the existence of dark matter. Without its extra gravitational glue, the Sun would have been ejected from the galaxy billions of years ago. As the Sun moves, it also bobs up and down like a buoy in the ocean, currently plunging through the local bubble, a cavity of low-density gas blown out by a supernova millions of years ago. But even this galactic orbit is just one layer of our travel. Against the backdrop of the universe's expansion, the Milky Way is headed straight for its nearest neighbor, the Andromeda galaxy. Right now, Andromeda takes up as much of the sky as a fist held at arm's length, but in 2.5 billion years, it will dominate our nights. Within 5 billion years, the two galaxies will entangle in a gravitational dance. This merger, often called Milkomeda, will not be a sudden crash, but a slow, chaotic transformation. Because galaxies are mostly empty space, stars will likely pass by each other like swarms of bees, rather than colliding head-on. However,
The gravitational tides will strip away spiral arms, creating tidal tails of gas and stars, stretching tens of thousands of light years. This interaction will ignite a massive round of star formation, turning the sky into a dazzling display of blue and white stars before the gas is depleted. Eventually, the merger will result in a giant red elliptical galaxy, a quiet, dead galaxy, doomed to watch its stars fade away. We see these kaleidoscopes of catastrophes elsewhere in the universe, like the Mice galaxies or ARP 220, which give us snapshots of our own future. But the journey of the Milky Way does not end with Andromeda. Our motion is part of a larger hierarchy. The tools to map this were found in an unlikely place, the work of 18th century French mathematicians like Gaspard Monge, who was trying to solve transportation optimization problems. His work was later expanded by Soviet mathematicians like Leonid Kantorovich to solve logistical problems for the war machine. In the 1970s, cosmologist Jim Peebles realized these same equations could describe the efficient movement of mass in the formation of galaxies. By combining current positions and velocities, astronomers can use these mathematical crystal balls to transport galaxies back in time or project them into the future. This technique, pioneered by Brent Tully and his collaborators, created the Cosmic Flows catalogs, mapping tens of thousands of galaxies. This mapping revealed that we belong to a much larger structure than we ever imagined. For a long time, we thought we were part of the Virgo Supercluster, but in 2014, it was discovered that this was just one branch of a much larger entity named Laniakea, a Hawaiian word for immense heaven. Laniakea contains 100,000 galaxies spanning 500 million light-years, all flowing toward a common center, the Great Attractor. Our view of the Great Attractor's heart is hazy because it lies within the zone of avoidance, but radio and X-ray surveys suggest it is the Norma cluster, a massive gravitational well 220 million light-years away. Yet even the Great Attractor isn't the final word. Recent surveys show that the Norma cluster itself is in motion, being pulled by something even larger, the Shapley Supercluster, which sits 650 million light-years away. The incredible mass of Shapley influences every galaxy for hundreds of millions of light-years. Some astronomers even suspect a dark flow, a large-scale movement of clusters at speeds of up to 1,000 kilometers per second, though its existence is still debated. We also see the remnants of the early universe in these motions, such as baryonic acoustic oscillations, or BAOs, sound waves from the Big Bang that froze into the distribution of galaxies. One such structure, a shell of 400 million light-years in radius, called Ho'e, shows how the chaotic plasma of the early universe still dictates our path today. However, gravity isn't the only force at play. While we are pulled by Andromeda, the Virgo cluster, the Great Attractor, and the Shapley Supercluster, we are also being pushed. There appears to be a vast expanse of nothingness on the opposite side of the sky from the Shapley Supercluster, known as the Dipole Repeller void. These great voids don't just let go of matter, they actively push galaxies away because they are filled with dark energy. This brings us to Albert Einstein's greatest blunder. In 1917, Einstein added a cosmological constant to his equations to force the universe to be static, as was the belief at the time. When Edwin Hubble later discovered the universe was expanding, Einstein regretted the move. But in 1998, astronomers realized the expansion of the universe was actually accelerating, and the culprit was the very constant Einstein had tried to discard: vacuum energy, or dark energy. Dark energy now accounts for 70% of the universe's contents, and its influence is growing. As the universe expands, more vacuum is created, leading to more dark energy. This force is already deconstructing the cosmic web. The voids are expanding, driving galaxies apart faster than gravity can hold them together. Because of this, we likely will never reach our final destination. Billions of years from now, our journey toward the Great Attractor will slow down, stop, and reverse. The Milky Way will merge with Andromeda, and the local group will coalesce into one mega-galaxy. But we will never reach the Virgo cluster or the Great Attractor. They will slip over our cosmological horizon, caught in the accelerated expansion of dark energy. Eventually, our mega-galaxy will be adrift in a sea of nothingness. Trillions of years from now, stars will randomly scatter away, flung into the void, until our galaxy diminishes. With no stars to gauge motion against and no outside frames of reference, the universe, or what is left of it, will finally come to rest. The great migration that began with the Big Bang will end in total, silent isolation. The complexity of these motions is a testament to the scale of our universe. This is the story of hierarchical structure formation, how the universe built itself brick by